This guy's just horrible. Yes, that is Paul Krugman, New York Times author. And unfortunately, he's now in my paper, which managed to syndicate a lot of his stupid pieces. And this is one of them. It's titled, How a Water Crisis in Mississippi Unfolded. He's referring to the state of Jackson, Mississippi, meaning the city of Jackson, and the current state of affairs where almost nobody has running drinking water, bathing water, cooking water. It's because, and Krugman doesn't recognize this, of bad city management, period. He manages to blame it on Republicans, like nationally. He's talking about tax cuts and having that have something to do with the horrible management of those running the city. And to say, as he does 3 times over, that it's because Mississippi is poor, well, that's ridiculous, because there are plenty of other poor places that keep their water running. It is this city, and there have been a couple others which are wealthier. Flint, Michigan. Michigan's fairly wealthy. California, very wealthy. They had a water crisis in one of their towns. So this is not a matter of poverty. It's a matter of competence and caring. And I do think they go hand in hand. And when it comes to city managers, many of them don't care much about their people. They care about their own personal power, some their own wealth, their own comfort, at the expense of people. Providing water is one of the most basic functions of city management. And those running Jackson, Mississippi, and that is majority Democrat, have failed. Meanwhile, Krugman blames Republican tax cuts. Okay, this is just so ridiculous. He says, one thing is for sure, imagining that tax cuts will bring prosperity to a poorly educated state that can't even provide its capital with running water is just delusional. Well, let me undelusion you. I can give you 4 places in your lifetime where tax cuts made a magnificent improvement in people's lives, okay? They're called Poland, Hungary, East Germany, Czech Republic. Massive tax reductions in the last 30 years and much better improvements in quality of life. They were, under Soviet domination, having basic services denied. And under capitalism, with decent people running their cities, we don't hear about that. Krugman will blame everything except where it lies. Bad officials, most of them Democrat, good number of them in Jackson, minority, but he doesn't want to talk about that. Instead, he thinks that there is an anti-minority bias. All right, this goes along with his total racist tincture that is in this article once again, because I have for the 3rd time read from him about white flight. Guess what? The departure from cities that has taken place many places since the 1950s was not a matter of race. It's a matter of people of all races getting the hell out of cities that didn't take good care of their people. If that happened to be more whites than blacks, it wasn't because of race. It was maybe because of more ability to get away, less family ties to one another, to churches, and yes, more whites probably left than blacks in many cities. But I dare you to find a single white family that left because of the race of people around them. It might have been the culture, it might have been the policing or lack of, it might have been the lack of opportunity. But white people don't leave just because they're people of another race around them. So to call it white flight, when it's a socioeconomic, not a racial difference, it is economics, it is culture, that causes many families properly to leave bad places for better. I'm Mark Stewart. Thanks for listening here, and I hope you will not read very often, Mr. Krugman over there.